Okay, you can stop booing. I get it, yes, I know I have a terrible voice, that's why I'm not a singer on YouTube, and that's why I have been banned from multiple karaoke bars. No, I haven't. Anyway, I have a perfect excuse why I can sing Daytona USA theme song, because on the summer of 1997 the music of this game has been implanted, has been fried into my brain, because we played it on Sega Saturn with my childhood friend Greg so many times that I know the game from beginning to end. And Greg, I know that you're watching. Yes, so normally I wouldn't do a review about Daytona USA because there is not much to say. It's a cool arcade game, 3 stages, 1 car, automatic or manual transmission, and that's it. There is not much to say about it. However, the memories is always the memories what is worth to talk about. I remember that on that summer, my childhood friend Greg had a Sega Saturn and we've been playing Alien Trilogy, which traumatized me, and I made a video about it, how I was dreading to play that game, so check that video as well. And we've been in an arcade on that summer, and Greg was like thinking about to selling that game Alien Trilogy and buying Daytona USA on the Sega Saturn, and we've been hanging around in the arcade, and that was a Daytona USA arcade machine, and I had a few coins to spare. And he told me that just try the game, is it good or not? So I went sit into the arcade machine, dropped the coins in, and I tested the game. And I tried the first stage, and obviously, at you know which corner, I crashed so hard. But I told him that yeah, this definitely worth playing. So yeah, just sell this alien game, so we don't have to play it anymore. And yes, we did. So we got the Daytona USA on the Sega Saturn, and we played it so long. I really don't know, looking back now, how we could play that much, because it really is 3 stages, and just nowadays, even when I replayed it with these so nice memories, I had fun for, I don't know, half an hour, but that's it. But those times were really different. So today we're going to take a look on Daytona USA, and I can hear the theme song is already starting, so let's get started. So what makes Daytona USA so special? Released in 1993, it was Sega's answer to the racing genre's evolution. Developed by the legendary AM2 team and directed by Toshiniro Nagoshi, who later created the Yakuza series, it was a technical marvel. It ran on the Sega Model 2 hardware. While its predecessor Virtua Racing used flat-shaded polygons, Daytona introduced texture mapping and filtered polygons at a logged 60 frames per second. In 1993, this looks like magic. It wasn't just a game, it was a spectacle. Some versions of the arcade cabinet even allowed for up to 8 players to link up. If you were in an arcade in the mid-90s, the smell of popcorn and the sound of "Let's Go Away" was a definitive experience. Now we have to talk about the handling. Daytona USA isn't a simulator like Gran Turismo, it's an arcade drifter. But it's not the automated tap-to-drift style you see in modern games, this takes actual finesse. To initiate a drift, you use the shift-down technique. As you approach a sharp corner at high speed, you quickly downshift from 4th gear to 2nd or 3rd, turn hard and then slam it back to 4th. This breaks the traction of the rear tires, sending the car into a beautiful sweeping slide. It's a high-risk, high-reward system. If you time it perfectly, you maintain your momentum and rocket out of the corner. If you mess it up, you're hitting the wall or spinning out, and in Daytona, one mistake is usually the difference between 1st place and 20th. The PS2 version captures this perfectly, because the frame rate is so stable, you can actually feel the weight of the car shifting. It's the specific Model 2 physics engine, where the cars feel heavy yet floaty at the same time, that made us spend all of our lunch money in the arcades. And because it was a massive hit, Sega had to bring it home. In 1995, the Sega Saturn debut port. This was a launch window title, but it captured the feel and the music. It struggled with popping and the lower frame rate. But for kids like us in 97, having those 3 tracks and 2 cars at home was enough. Honestly, after switching from 16-bit games, we not even noticed these things at all. In 96, Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition came out. This was a refined Saturn version with better graphics and more tracks, but some fans felt the handling was off compared to the original. In 2001, Daytona USA 2001 on the Dreamcast has been released, which looked incredible. but the analog controls were notoriously twitchy. Which brings us to the version I'm reviewing today. The 2011 PS3 port. This is the love letter version. It's a pixel-perfect arcade port running in 16.9 widescreen, 180p and a silky smooth 60 FPS. It even includes a karaoke mode, so you can sing along better than I did at the start. On paper, Daytona USA is thin. 3 stages, 3 7-speedway, dinosaur canyon, a seaside street, but it's not about the quantity, it's about the drift. It's about that perfect power slide around the Sonic the Hedgehog carved into the rock wall. Revisiting this game on the PS3 isn't just a review, it's a trip back to that summer of '97. If you want to wash away the trauma of 90s survival horror, there is no better palette cleanser than those Sega blue skies. So, should you play Daytona USA? Well, it's still a fun arcade game, and yes, I know that the nostalgia is really clouding my judgment, and but I'm saying this is a really solid Sega arcade racer. If you have a chance to play the PS3 version, that's the best experience, because that is really nailed the arcade experience. And unfortunately, arcades are not that common anymore, but if you have a chance to play the arcade version with the proper steering wheel, that is definitely an experience. And one day, if I'm going to be rich and I'm going to have my own little game room or massive game room, I'm probably going to buy a 2-player Daytona arcade cabinet, and I'm going to invite Greg to sit in and just play this game again on the real arcade cabinet with free play without coins, and just have a fun to race against each other. So yes, this was my Daytona USA memories. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you would like to see a very good racing game, check out Colin McRae Rally 2.0 on the PS1. This one is a very good rally on the game on the PS1. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next Backlog Quest video. Bye bye.